What's going on, everyone? Forex Fargo checking in, Forex Fargo weekly webinar. I do know that I've been gone for, about a couple weeks. Actually, it's been about, maybe a month or so. But at the end of the day, take the time away that you need in order to, take care of your mental health, right? So without further ado, if you guys, don't already know what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the dollar index. All of these are always started off on the macro, right? So dollar index, then we're going to go to, Euro USD, AU USD, GBP USD, GPY, GJ, USDCAD, Euro AUD, and then as a bonus, we might just take a look at gold, right? So what has been happening, I've told you guys followed me or whatever like that, last month, took the time of, took the month of April to just kind of just focus on what I wanted to do in my life. And then, just trade the free availability that I did have, right? So what happened last week, okay, we saw that, sometime last week the price was stuck between this. I have it as a daily resistance level, and I'm glad I didn't change it because it is now marked as daily resistance. But previously to, last week's move, this level right here, at 91, on the dollar index was being held as our, support or whatever like that, right? So what happened was once we had this breakthrough on this, April 30th candle, which was the monthly candle close, what happened, when the month of May opened up, we pushed all the way back down, right? So you were trying to get some liquidity from the downside to at least buy back up, right? If you guys follow me on my IG, it was actually expected that once price literally got to this level right here and was pushing to the top side, I noticed that, went on IG and I just put something. I have a triple top right here. 1, 2, 3. Now this is like a micro, intraday level. The higher intraday level would have been the 91,500. So I said, looking at rejections from this level, if not, then 550-ish, to the T. If I drop down to 1 minute, not 1 minute, but 1 hour time frame, you were never stopped out of this position, right? What ended up happening, though, I'm gonna be real, did not expect this to fucking happen, the first week of May, right? But what ended up happening is, if we look at this on the daily time frame, I probably sent out this trade on my IG maybe like Tuesday or something like that. So let's call this like, Monday I was looking at it, pushing up. So Tuesday, um, we get this fucking drop or whatever like that. Then you get hit with this beautiful doji, right? So you get hit with a doji at a key level, which is also a good thing, because if you look at these doji, here we go. Doji around, a key level. What happens? It ends up dropping. You got the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth retest with the doji on the candle close. This is a daily candle close. So you have a daily candle close as a, you call it a spinning top if you want to, right? From then the previous day, we retested all the way back to the upside. The upside meaning that the key major zone that we're looking at, to take ourselves from, and just looking at the rejections, is this 91, 400 area or so, right? So once again, price literally broke past and then projected, and then we had another opportunity for a retest right here, right? So this is essentially what happened on dollar index. Now let's go into the pairs and let's talk about why they fucking exploded, right? So, all right, if we just look at the weekly candle right here, the same way dollar index died from 91 400 or so, this is the reason why fucking EU exploded from 119 875 all the way back up to, look, 121 728, right? So you see these, how the levels are just lining up perfectly. If you guys notice, and I tell you guys, I haven't altered or changed any of my charts in the last like 3 months or so. My levels have been holding. So now let's go ahead and talk about obvious and, what could potentially happen, looking at this from the macro level, right? Now, if we open this up from the macro level, we have 2 levels identified right now. We have this 121, 121 748 level, right, which is being held as our daily resistance level. Although we also have another wick up all the way back to this 121, 122, 2500 area. So what I do, right, if you guys are new or just, following along, I like doing my blue ellipse, right? So what I'm going to do is not necessarily looking to take a trade unless I see rejections at this level. So what I'll do is I am looking to see, and I'll show you guys, if you guys have been trading, either Doesn't matter if it's consistently. If you guys have been trading the last few years, you understand that the market moves in cycles. So I'll explain something real quick, okay? We just had a monthly close on April. Price the first week of May just shot all the way back up to what April was trying to do the last fucking week of April. That's not what happened. It ended up happening in May. I know I'm losing some of you guys, but you know, you guys will essentially follow along, right? So now, because we've already hit we haven't hit all-time highs, right? But we've hit highs back from the first quarter already, or we're approaching first quarter highs, right? So the first quarter high from, you know, the beginning of this year is 123, you know, 400. I have no doubt that fucking price is going to get up there. But before we can get all the way up there, we have to break past this 121,700 level, and as well as, you know, create a newer high around this 122, 185. Now, if we look back on the dollar index, okay, we look at the dollar index, we see the price right here, right? So this is why you want to look at the dollar index and euro together, all right? Because look at the possibilities. So yes, the dollar index has likeliness to fall all the way back down to this 89, you know, 800 level, which is a quarter. This is actually, you know, quarter one levels as well. So we'll call this, we'll change this quarter one 2021 levels, right? And we'll call that the monthly low. All right. So price has the opportunity, right? As we saw from over here last time. So price, you know, once we got to this level, I'm expecting to see if we can go all the way down. Now, although price did not necessarily go all the way down, what we can see is now we're going to draw a little zone because we have our higher level mark, right? But now what we need to do is we need to just draw a little minor zone. It doesn't need to be perfect, but we need to monitor price action and see how it is going to have an effect around right here, right? So if we get a bounce all of a sudden and go back up here, which we, you know, potentially will, this week is going to be a week full of retracements, right? So what that means is, in my eyes, the trend has already been set. We know that dollar index is fucking bearish. You know, we know everything else against the dollar is going to essentially be bullish. What happens is that we've hit levels and we need to hit some retracements, right? So this is what I'm looking at. We look down on the 1 hour time frame, right? What I'd be interested in looking at is some type of, you know, bearish engulfing. We'd probably get a push all the way back. We'd probably get a push from 121,719 to fucking 121,400, right? You'd get a long green candle on the way back, but the moment you get like 2 or 3 more rejections, I'd feel comfortable taking a sell right here, right? Now, I'm not going to, you know, do the stop losses and the entries and stuff like that, but you know, my stop losses have been getting tighter, and I'd be content with, you know, you can call it, that's a definite right there, from 117, from 121,700 to, you know, 121, you know, that should be a definite. That's a 1 to 4 right there, right? If we end up losing on this one, once again, I will be monitoring the position, and you know, we'll be looking for something like this. Now, if price actually drops from the second level, I see it dropping a little bit higher and heavier, right? But, you know, once again, the way that I've been trading lately, I've been content with the, you know, 40, 60, 70 pips or whatever. And then, you know, I'll just keep like a position open and everything like that, right? So this is my forecast on EU, on AU, what it is that I'm looking at. And a lot of you guys think that, you know, my shit is basic. That's fine. It is basic, right? You know, why are you guys not catching pips? Because you're just overcomplicating yourselves. I don't look at this RSI. All I have is lines. I don't even have trend lines anymore. There's no need for it, right? If we look at this, prices go ahead and hit 78 cents, 600. We look to the left. Oh my God, this is a level of resistance. You know, these are daily low levels from February 22nd, you know, February 25th. Price has yet to, you know, reach and push all the way back up to the 78, you know, 700 level. So what I feel comfortable doing, you know, I'll draw me a little horizontal ray. So I do like something like right here, right? Actually, give me a horizontal ray right here. We'll call this my weekly resistance. If you guys have questions, you know, feel free to type it. If you guys agree with me, disagree with me, I have, you know, I just turned 30, so I'm just like, I'm so open to so much shit now. Let me see. Right, so this is what we'll be looking at. I'll be marking this level to see, you know, how price monitors and falls from here. this would be a definite, you know. So what I would be interested in seeing is if we can catch a short position from here. Obviously, we'd go down to this zone, but I'm more or less looking for like this 96 pips on this. I feel comfortable. That'll be like, you know, the trades that I take for the week, and you know, it'll be done and dusted, right? So on the macro, once again, daily level, we see that this is a, you know, weekly resistance. We have this as our daily support level, right? So like this is, you know, we can call this our daily support level, and we have a few other daily support levels. Now, people, you know, I just want to explain something. You're not going to get better by just having your charts marked like this. You need to understand, you know, what you guys are not hearing from me is I'm not telling you, you know, the entries that I'm looking at, you know, the time frame I'm entering off of. I'm just giving you ideas to help you along with your analysis, and maybe you can catch pips like me. Not even like me, you can catch pips with me, right? That's the better way to say it. Let's go ahead and move on to GU. But before we do that, you guys see this right here, right? So, you know, this is why I don't alter any of my shit. Look at this. I took a trade last week knowing that I felt comfortable because look, I opened my chart, price was literally, I opened my chart, you know, because I already have my things marked, price was at 77 cents, bong, look at this. This is a fucking beautiful fucking trade. Even when price got to 76.55, which was somewhere like down here or something like that, you know, I set a buy stop, price fucking moved with action. There's a whole daily candle, price moved, never fucking got stopped out, and there you go. You know, so I'm trying to eliminate the hard parts of trading, just trying to make it a little bit easier for myself, right? Okay, just making sure that I'm fucking recording this. All right. Same thing with GU, right? So look at this. This is clear and evident as fucking day, all right? The zone has already been there. The zone's been respected since, look at how many rejections we have. Count this with me, folks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fucking rejections, okay? So do we think on the 10th rejection that we're probably going to break all the way through? Probably not, right? So what I think is going to happen, once again, just expecting the fact that, you know, we are looking at retracements this week. We're not looking for the fucking bullish continuations. The bullish continuations will and shall happen maybe later on this week, right? But, you know, going back, the buy stop, 138, you know, 250, 138, 250 was right here at this line. So I've been telling people I've been trading around the key levels, and they have been fucking working so much better. I know that I failed my FTMO challenge. I could have passed my FTMO challenge like fucking 5 times over with the trades I've been taking. You know, I'm trying to build my smaller account and everything like that. I've been doing great. You know, made a withdrawal yesterday to fucking pay some bills or whatever like that. But, you know, I'm making sure I don't fuck up my FTMO for the 3rd time. So I'm trying to see if I could get my account to like a few $1,000s and shit like that and just fucking trade with that. There's no need for me to have the FTMO account just yet. So that's where my mind's at. And yes, this is what we are looking at. So we're looking at all the rejections, right? So let's do this for a second. All right. So let's do this. This is how we build confluence real quick, okay? So Gbp USD has been rejected from this level 9 times since February 2021. Okay, that's fact number 1. Okay, fact number 2 is, oh yeah. Fact number 2, no daily closure within or above zone. Right. And then what we'll do is let's see if we can take a look and, you know, one more confluence. I'm sure if I had the RSI down at the bottom, I know that the RSI would probably be oversold on, you know, 4-hour or, you know, the 2-hour time frame, so on and so forth, right? But what we'd be looking for is we'd be looking for this, right? So if no 4-hour candle closure. Hey. Are you talking to me? Did someone just say something, or was that my dog? Oh, okay. Someone has their mic on. You scared the fuck out of me, man. I was like, what is that? If no 4-hour candle closure or daily candle closure above zone, then expecting price to retrace, not fall, retrace back toward 138,250 for liquidity. Right? So I know that that may seem like a lot, but this is how you build confluences. Now the confluences, this is just, you know, what I'm looking for, and giving myself the, if this happens, then this is what I'm expecting, right? This has also helped me, you know, with my trading a lot better. I know that sometimes, you know, I tell you guys that, you know, I end up losing, but you know, when I lose, is it really a loss, or am I just continuously learning, right? So, you know, I take everything with a grain of salt, and that's what you guys should do as well. If you do look at this as well, you know, once again, this does look like a double top, right? So, and the fourth thing that we have, right? So from our zone, potential double top forming at, yeah, double top forming, right? So this is what we'll be looking at. Let me see if you guys have said something in the chat real quick. Nothing yet. All right, perfect. Just real quick, if you guys learning something, am I doing good, doing bad? Let me know in the chat. We'll be moving on to our next one real quick, right? So our next one will be GJ. Oh, such a beauty. Look at this. This was a fucking great trade. I'm not even gonna cap. It's a fucking great trade. This is a trade that I didn't catch it down here. I got stopped out. But I ended up catching it like the 140. This is from like last week or something like that, the week before. Price last week, you know, I was only able to catch from like, you know, 80, 75 pips. We've been ranging on GJ, something type crazy. So this is why I know that, you know, let's go ahead and look at this from the macro, right? So weekly time frame. What are we looking at on a weekly? Okay, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good on the weekly. I can't necessarily identify things on the weekly, which is why sometimes you go, you know, you don't force it. Right now on the daily level, I can see that we have all these fucking rejections at 152. Right, so all the rejections started at 152, way back over here. Right, so we'll do this. All right. Once again, these are some quarter levels, right? Second quarter levels. So prices seems to be respecting these. On the macro, this actually looks like if this is the fucking head and shoulders, right? This would be left shoulder, this would be the head, this would be right shoulder. Price has already come up here on this right shoulder. We might get another push up, but regardless, you know, that's kind of throwing it out there. Now this is what we can look at, right? So don't necessarily care about anything else other than what happened right here, right? So what happens is we get this 4-hour candle closure, bang, 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 price fucking, you know, flirts or whatever from here, you know, we break back up. But it's important that this 152 is a key level for us, okay? So when price fell down from this 152 level, you were able to capitalize 124 pips, you know, 145 pips, you know, 230 pips or so. What's important is that price hit every one of these key levels on the way down. On the way back up, price also respected all of these key levels on the way back up. So because history tends to repeat itself and likes to repeat itself, we can make a safe assumption, right? Doesn't necessarily need to be a bad assumption. We can make a safe assumption and assume that based off of the previous history or price action, you know, that's happened the last few weeks, you know, that GJ is looking for a retracement, right? If GJ does not have a retracement, obviously, you know, we're going back to the upside, the 153 easy, right? So a couple things could happen, but this is more or less what I'm looking for to happen, right? So I am looking for us to catch a short on GJ prior to, you know, the dovish behavior continuing, right? And this is what I'm looking at. Let me go ahead and bust down to a 2-hour time frame so you can see just, you know, multiple rejections. Doesn't matter if you're getting wicked up all the way to the top side, you know. Look at these. You're not having any really candle closure. The only candle closure you had was this 2-hour candle closure, and then it's followed by a fucking 2-hour bearish engulfing. You know, so it's just like, regardless, you got to be able to look at certain things and eliminate all the noise. And what I've been doing is by eliminating the noise. You guys see, I don't have any of the trend lines. I can teach you guys how to trade with trend lines, but you know, it just complicates things, right? So if I was to add a trend line right here, the trend line's already fucking one. I just want to just show you guys something. This is why, like, I don't force it, right? So this is the top. Like, that's not a trend line right there. That's fucking stupid. Trend line should be like more or less like right here, connecting all the highs and shit. So I guess you can do one like that, but there's no need to do the trend line. I'm telling you guys, less is always fucking gonna be more. Less will always be more. Okay. So yes, this is what we are looking at on the GJ side. So again, apologies if you guys are not getting the, not go ahead and put in the take profits and the entries and everything like that. What I'm showing you is definitely more than enough. If I'm telling you that I'm looking at an entry at 152 and the exit at 150, 785 or something like that, take it with a grain of salt. If we have this 4-hour candle closure. Now, I'm going to get you guys something here. Let me write this real quick on GJ as well, right? Because GJ is definitely going to be fucking complicated. All right. All right, so GJ at key level at 152 at 152 key level. All right. So number one, if rejected at 152, then retracement back toward 150. Oh yeah, honestly, I can see it crashing like that. If candle closure above 152, then bullish push to 153, 255 or something like that, right? And then our job is to be looking at price action for signs of bearish strength, bearish or bullish strength. There you go. Right. So, keep it simple. As you guys can see, look, the arrow goes all the way back up to the 153, right? So, if at the start of the week, we understand that, price doesn't fucking, do what we are expecting it to do, we know that we also could get faked out on this position, right? So like, yes, these are the most recent highs, but the, the previous highs from last month are all the way back up here at 153. So, this is why we need to plan our moves accordingly and make sure that we're all on the same page, right? Moving along with this, I am not gonna cap. Ucad fucking pissed me the fuck off, right? Ucad pissed me off so bad, bro, that like I had a beautiful fucking sell all the way back up here like 2-3 weeks ago. I had a sell from like 126 when I was in fucking Miami, and I expected it to fall, whatever. But it is what the fuck it is, and you take it with a grain of salt. Now, what we can do, right? So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at a beautiful fucking position on Ucad right here. All right. Now let's just state the fucking obvious. Okay. The obvious being that price has now come all the way back down to some levels from 2017, right? So before we were flirting at these 2018 lows. Now fucking price is all the way back down at this 2017 level. Okay. What I'm expecting, and once again, this may or may not happen, but fucking goddamn, if this does happen, this will be a great trade. And I know that this liquidity is gonna fucking happen real fast. So this could happen in a day, right? We could probably see a retracement all the way back up to 123. You can see a retracement all the way back up to 124, 500 or so. I'm calling it the 123 level. Let's call it the 128, 122, 850-ish level or something like that. Reason being is UCAD has been dying so fucking much. I obviously don't see this, the strength coming in, but there needs to be some type of correction, right? So there needs to be a correction back to the upside before we can continuously go lower, right? So I don't like how that daily candle closed, it didn't close below the line, but if we look at this 4-hour candle, what I'm looking for is some signs of reversals. I'm not going to force anything. Excuse me. There's no need for us to force anything. We know that we could essentially get stopped out as well, but what we want to do is just monitor price action along here. And I promise, if you just do this on your charts and literally like when you feel like price gets into this blue ellipse, you'll monitor the price action. You'll either hit buy, sell, set a buy stop, set a fucking buy limit, sell stop, sell limit. But you literally will feel so much better marking your charts and then following along with them. I swear to God. So this is what I see happening on UCAD. I'm not going to get into any more depth than that. Just the fact that if we look at this on the weekly time frame, fucking prices all the way at 2017 levels or something like that. We obviously know we can drop a little bit further down to the 120, 600 or so. So we'll go ahead and draw another thing as well. But probably won't trade that. Now, let me fucking delete some of this shit. Apologies. What is this? EU, as you guys can see. EA, I'm sorry. EA, I fucking love EA. I'm not even gonna cap. I don't need the trend line. I don't need that shit all the way up there. Get rid of this fucking trend line. I've noticed this something. I noticed this the other day. That's why this is on a weekly time frame, right? So if I open this up, I've been telling you guys, you follow me on IG. I know I've been inactive, but if you guys can see, once you know how to trade, you can take the fucking break away and you don't need to overexert yourself, right? So there was no need for me to mark up my charts, right? Starting from March, these levels, besides all the way down here, right? If we're talking about the, 154 level, right? 154, 154, 200, 154, 500, all the way back at the top, the 156, 500, right? So price literally has been flirting between these the last fucking few weeks. Telling you guys, every time price gets down here, I fucking buy. Every time price gets close to here, I sell. It's been fucking working. Let's look at it on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we can see the price is actually probably getting ready to load back up to the upside. Not sure if we will get, that little dump right there, but what we could potentially do is, I obviously see this happening back to the upside. That's a fucking definite, at least so 156. So we might be able to catch, some pips to the upside. Another thing as well, you guys see back in March, I was expecting the fact that if price broke up here, we'd fucking, go back not to the moon, but we go to July lows. Nope, that's not what happened. Price ended up respecting a level. We fucking crashed all the way back down. I'm able to capitalize on 233 pips, right? Back on the upside, I'm able to capitalize on 97 pips, right? I didn't do anything in between because, like I said, I wasn't trading. Not that I wasn't trading all of April. I wasn't on my charts and shit. So once I open my charts, if it gets to my key level, I like the price action. You can, at that point, you can confidently enter a trade without, needing to do all the extra shit, right? So this is something that I would be looking for and entertaining on the EA. If you guys do not understand why I'm looking at that trade, by all means, it's all right there. Proof is in the pudding. Long. So look for something like that. All right. And then last but not least, right? When I say I'm fucking pissed, I am pissed. Okay. So fucking last week, like 2 weeks ago, bro, I had this ill-ass gold buyer from fucking 1730 something, whatever like that. I ended up taking my profits when price got close to the 1800. This is like 2 weeks ago. Now, I told you guys I've been trading a lot less. I've noticed that price was fucking at 1775 last week. I say, yo, if price fucking breaks past 1800, we're gonna fly. And what the fuck happened? Price ended up flying. Now, this is what I mean. You don't chase the fucking trade, okay? Reason why we don't chase the trade is because the trade is gonna fucking come all the way back down to 1800 anyways. Reason being, look at this. Now let's go to the left a little bit, all right? So in one fucking week, we went from 1776 all the way back up to 1840. That's like fucking 600 pips or so, right? Exactly. It's like 630 fucking pips, right? Okay, now because we are now at 1840, which is a high from February or so, what we're interested in looking at is looking to see what type of rejection we'll have at 1840, right? Don't pay attention to that buy thing. That's when fucking price actually has a nice move. So yes, what I'm interested in is, and I took a small sell when price got to 1840 for like 50, 60 pips and shit, small compound and shit. Open up the fucking chart. Our job is to see if we're looking to catch a retracement, right? So this is all we're looking for. We're not gonna make it any more complicated than what it needs to be. We're just gonna say this, okay? Gold, oops. Gold hit 1840. Monthly resistance. Isn't looking for potential liquidity filled at 1800. That obviously means we're looking at a short. Okay, so looking at a short on gold, and I'm looking at a short on gold it's not even I'm looking for the short on gold. I'm looking to follow gold back until 1800 so I can fucking take the buy. That's what I'm looking for, right? So you guys understand, you know, I'm looking for the fucking buy, and then I'm looking for phew, right? So we're looking for something like that, okay? Now let's just go ahead and recap everything. Let me make sure no one put anything in the chat. Okay, perfect. I think you guys are having a great time learning some information. And then I believe these are all the trades that I'm looking at. Not gonna dive into crypto because everyone else can fucking, you know, do that themselves. But starting off back again, you know, where we at? Sorry, excuse me, folks. Right, so you know, going ahead with the weekly webinar. Let me just delete some of these shits. All right. So yes, going ahead back with our weekly webinar, Mother's Day special. You know, we went over AU, we went over AU, EU, GJ, GU, UCAD, you know, EA, and then gold. As a bonus, I wanted to actually do one more. The last one I want to do is GA. GA probably because that shit's probably gonna fly just like with the So if I go to GA, I don't need to look any fucking closer. Look at this, right? So you know, probably collect some liquidity right there, and then price is probably literally gonna fucking fly. So I'm looking for this. Mind you, just because I look at all these trades, I don't take all of the fucking trades. I used to take all of the trades back in the day, and that was exhausting as fuck. I'm talking about a couple of years ago. I told you guys last week I took like 7 or so trades. I was fucking way more content with doing that, and it's a lot easier. All right, so Forex Fargo checking out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me the questions right now. I'll dedicate 2 minutes to someone, typing a question and asking it. If you guys want me to look at a pair, by all means, I'll do a bonus pair. Someone just type it. So you got like 2 minutes to do that. Think of a pair. And what I will tell you guys is that, going out and kind of touching and trying to manifest, trying to manifest everything that has, coming back to me, or everything that I want in life has definitely opened my fucking eyes, and like, it's amazing. Trust me. I mean, like, it's definitely amazing. So yeah. Do you look at indexes? We can take a look at the indexes. They actually are right here on my chart, right? So, if we're going to be honest and take a look at the index, right? The indexes move similar with the dollar index. So when the dollar index goes down, the indexes, in my opinion, go up, obviously. Now, what I see happening, if I'm looking at the retracement, my man Smith, right? So Smith, if I'm looking at the retracement on the dollar index, okay, we have to be mindful that there are new highs being created in the stock market. It'll be very high to, look for sell positions. I do expect some type of retracement. Obviously, like I said, I'm looking at retracements on a lot of these pairs and shit like that, or whatever, retracements from the bullish corrections that they have obviously been in. So I feel uncomfortable taking any trades on the indexes. One, like I don't want to fuck up my account and shit. And then two, I feel comfortable taking the buys when price gets all the way back down here. So unless you're looking at buys, unless you're looking at buys, then you know what I mean, by all means, not interested. And the other thing that I would have taken a look at was Dogecoin, but you know what I mean, like I'm good on that. I'm A-okay. Let that be for everyone else. So yes, thank you guys for joining. This has been recorded, and I will be putting this on YouTube. And Forex Fargo checking out. Happy Mother's Day to everyone, their mothers, their wives, and their daughters that will be mothers one day. So Forex Fargo checking out. Everyone stay blessed. Holla.